And Barbara Bailey, 27 News First at 5:30.
You are looking at a live picture of Interstate 75 in Scott County. Hundreds of cars, hundreds of people stranded, facing another night of below zero weather. Good afternoon. A state of emergency is still in effect tonight. All interstates are officially closed.
The worst area seems to be just north of Lexington on I-75, where hundreds of people are getting ready for another cold, cold night. Bill Bryant is live at Delaplane Road in Scott County with more on what travelers are doing just to survive. And Bill, that opening shot was incredible. One truck after another.
It's really unbelievable, Sam. Nobody is going anywhere, and it is so cold out here that it's scary, quite frankly. As you look down I-75, this is the northbound traffic. By northbound, we mean they intend to be going north. They're going nowhere, and nobody knows when they'll be moving again. Most Kentucky residents have heeded the warnings and stayed off the roads, but many travelers from out of state have been taken by total surprise. I-75 in Scott County assumed an eerie feeling this afternoon as state police patrolled in military vehicles. Traffic ground to a halt. Weary and worried motorists stunned by the numbing cold and by the passing time.
Yeah, I got a 5-year-old daughter at home that I needed to pick up, what, 2 days ago? Yeah. We've been stranded here.
We all got kids. Few of those stranded have ever been this cold before. Most hope it never happens again. But for now, there's coping with the long night ahead and the uncertainty of when they'll be on their way.
I think this is ridiculous. I've got to work and I'm losing a lot of money being here.
I'm trying to get to Columbus. I'm 3 hours away from home!
Frustrated, money spent, most out-of-staters would like to forget this unplanned trip to Kentucky, but some from the bluegrass state tried to break the tension, bringing out an example of what makes the Commonwealth famous.
Cabin fever. Had to get out for a while. This is Ginger.
Y'all having a good time?
Good time.
But few people were amused. Getting home was on the minds of these stranded people, and few can understand their plight.
I think it's a terrible shame for a state to be so under-equipped that it takes more than 3 days to move just cars for 12 miles.
We're back live on I-75 in Scott County. As you know, the police are out here working hard. The National Guard is working hard. Kentucky, very simply, doesn't have the kind of equipment it takes to really attack this thing full force the way they do in northern states. And many of the people we've been talking to today are from the north and are trying to get back there. The state police have basically blocked the Kentucky-Tennessee border, trying to keep people from getting into Kentucky and getting into this mess. And as we said, most people in the state have heeded the warnings. They've heard what's going on, but it's the out-of-state travelers, Sam and Barbara, that are causing the problems and having the problems tonight.
So, Bill, is it more of a problem of stalled and parked vehicles versus ice and snow on the road?
I would say that probably is true. The problem is they can't plow the road because of the fact that there are so many stalled vehicles. If they could move them, certainly they could plow them. But the problem right now is that it's kind of a domino effect. It's kind of all on itself here.
It's a bad, bad situation. Thank you for the live report, Bill. Hundreds of people stranded on the interstate are taking refuge in nearby shelters, and that's causing some major problems in Grant County. 1,000 people are currently holed up in 8 makeshift shelters around the county. Many more people are expected tonight. In order to accommodate the crowd, officials say they need more food, blankets, towels, and other essential items. But the stranded motorists aren't complaining for the most part. They're just glad to have a warm place to wait out the storm. In Lexington, Urban County government workers are manning an emergency operations center that's been set up to assist residents during this snow emergency. Angela Davis joins us from downtown now with an update. Angela?
Well, Barbara, it's very cold out here. First of all, I should note, I'm out on Main Street right in front of the Government Center. About an hour ago, Lexington Mayor Pam Miller gave an update on road conditions in Lexington and other snow-related problems. Now, the mayor says we are still in a Stage 2 snow emergency status, and that means that a parking ban is in effect for snow emergency routes. Streets and roads crews are plowing priority 1, 2, and 3 roadways, And if your vehicle is parked along a snow emergency route that's priority 1 or 2, it's going to be hauled away by the city. At this hour, road conditions in Lexington are still extremely hazardous. I can tell you that firsthand. The bitter cold has made the streets very icy, and the chemicals that road crews normally use, they just don't work in these sub-zero temperatures. So the city's hands are sort of tied in this snowstorm. And joining me now for just a moment is Lexington Mayor Pam Miller. Mayor, what is your read on just how bad the city's been crippled by this snowstorm?
Well, I think this is by far the worst winter storm we've had since 1977. I can remember that, which went on for a couple of weeks. I think the difficulty here is not only that we've had a lot of snow and ice and the bitter cold, but it's not going to let up right away. Okay. So I think it's going to be a couple of days, 3 or 4 days, before we're going to start to see things clear out.
Now, with the temperatures being so low and the salt and chemicals not working, what are streets and road crews doing to combat this?
Well, they're finishing up the plowing. They're still widening the area that's plowed on the priority 2 and 3 streets and hoping to get to some of the subdivision streets. But as far as melting, you're not going to see much of that for a couple of days at least.
All right. Thanks, Mayor. Doing the best you can. Okay. Again, the Lexington city government is operating an emergency operations center. That is on the 3rd floor of the police department right down the street on Main Street. And if you have a question about a snow-related problem, the number to call is 258-3970. Back to you, Barbara.
All right. Thank you very much, Angela. An important number, again, it is 258-3970 for any questions you might have. Sam?
Well, the winter storm is not only causing problems for drivers, it's also causing power problems. In eastern Kentucky, utility crews have been working overtime. Julie Stewart joins us from WYMT-TV in Hazard with more on that. Julie?
Sam, power outages are not the only concern at this time, but the cold temperatures have caused water problems for some communities. A water main break in Whitesburg has firefighters working to find alternate water sources. The break affects more than 2,000 people. Right now they do have water, but officials say that could change.
If it gets colder tonight and gets down to the level they say that it is, 5 or 10 below, we're going to have a real problem. We need to try to find this today, and we need all the assistance we can for that. And we're asking all the citizens of Whitesburg, if they notice a water leak, to notify City Hall immediately.
Howard has issued a boil water advisory and is asking residents to conserve their water. The move has caused the regional hospital to operate on emergency status.
We end up having maintenance to do things such as flushing the toilet so we don't have unnecessary flushing. Just not wasting water making coffee and other type things, you know.
And Sam and Barbara, another boil water advisory is in effect for residents in Martin County who live in District 2. That's District 2 in Martin County, and they should also conserve any water they do have.
Julie, are officials close to fixing the problems?
Well, Sam, they're working around the clock right now, but the officials in Whitesburg haven't found their water main break yet, so no idea right now when it could be fixed.
Julie, thank you for that live report outside in Perry County. In Estill County, a water main break that left more than 1,500 customers without water this morning has been repaired, but residents are now asked to conserve and boil their water until further notice. Emergency crews repaired the broken main about an hour ago. All customers should have service restored.
Straight ahead on News First, the very latest weather warnings from Tom Harris. It's going to be another night of below-zero temperatures and deadly wind chills.
Also ahead, the top bidder for Central Kentucky's largest corporation, one of the largest, Kentucky Central Light.
It's official. December '93. History repeats itself.
Reporter Gordon Boyd is live in Frankfort with more on their missions of mercy. Gordon?
You know, Barbara, a big part of signing on with the National Guard is you never know exactly what they're going to throw at you. These past 2 days, photographer Ray Brown and I found out some of these guardsmen have seen almost everything.
Something that's an emergency, and they need it now, and they just can't get out of their homes. They can't get off these secondary roads.
Captain Zach Zeller is part messenger, part missionary. This time it's to pick up a prescription. The drugstore is only a half-mile away, but a road impassable has made a trip impossible.
Later on this afternoon, it's been even harder to get around now that it's gotten crusty and built up and frozen in areas. You can't plow through a lot of it now.
All right, let me give you the information. Okay.
At the Combined Command Center, the calls never seem to let up. Statewide, Kentucky's Guard and the Disaster and Emergency Services have more than 600 troops, almost 300 vehicles. It's still not enough.
We hand them off to the unit that's handling that particular area. They prioritize them, and they are getting them as soon as they can. I don't think we could put a time frame on it.
That's partly why several state police posts have had to switch to these to enforce the law.
Kevin Fevers steps in, you know, if it's not snowing today, then it's clear. And so there are still people out there that's using the roadways, and so we will be citing people for violating this order.
Here, too, the message is loud and clear. Dana Leatherly's baby has his medicine. An errand of mercy has its own reward.
This is one of the main reasons I joined the Guard. That's really the satisfaction that you get from being a guardsman as opposed to any other. We're a state militia, and we're here to help.
Small victories against the elements, but important victories. And remember, the governor's emergency order is still in effect. Stay off the interstates and designated highways unless you're hauling food or needed medicine or handling an emergency. The Guard troops we talked to today all express the same frustration, saying a lot of folks are getting out there and getting in the way, have no business out there. If you're not part of the solution, they say, you're part of the problem. Sam and Barbara?
That's true. It's hard work for them, but it is a wonderful service. Nice to see that, Gordon.
Truly.
Thank you.
I guess a couple of questions come to mind. One, is there any chance this stuff is going to melt? And two, are we going to get more snow in the next couple of days, which is not the thing we need? What do you think?
I don't think we'll see any significant snow, and the good news is it is going to warm up over the next couple of days, but we still have another very cold 24 hours. Now, most of this afternoon, our temperatures have been right around 5 or 6 degrees below zero with wind chill factors of 35 and 40 degrees below zero, and we do have a wind chill advisory in effect for all of central Kentucky tonight. Outside right now here in Lexington, under partly sunny skies, the temperature is 6 below zero with the winds out of the west at 8 miles per hour. That does give us a wind chill factor of 22 below zero, which isn't quite as bad as we've seen all afternoon. The relative humidity at 64%. The pressure is rising, and the dew point as that -15. Now, we do have a wind chill advisory for almost the entire state for tonight. We're expecting wind chill temperatures about 20 to 30 degrees below zero, so that's still a very dangerous wind chill temperature. If you get stuck out of your car in a ditch or something like that, a very dangerous situation, and it's even worse if you're traveling anywhere north. We do have a wind chill warning in effect for the northern counties. We're expecting wind chill temperatures of 30 and 40 degrees below zero. That wind chill warning is in effect for this evening. Now, the satellite picture still shows clear skies across much of the state, just a few high clouds, lots of sunshine. So it was a very pretty day as long as you were able to stay inside and didn't have to go outside, because very cold afternoon, and without any clouds out there, you wouldn't expect to see much in the way of any snowfall this afternoon. A few flurries reported around the state, but otherwise mostly smooth sailing. Now, what we really have to worry about is the very cold temperatures. We're going to see even colder temperatures tonight. We're expecting an overnight low of about 12 or 13 degrees below zero, and that's why that wind chill advisory is in effect. Now, tomorrow is when we're going to start to see the warming trend. It's not going to be much of a warming trend, but we will break out of the 0 degree mark, and we're expecting a high tomorrow right around, I don't know, 7 or 8 degrees, a little bit warmer along the southern part of the state. But otherwise, high pressure is going to be in control. Still very cold air with a chance of a few flurries, partly sunny skies. We'll see a little bit of everything, but not expecting any real accumulations. Now, your forecast for tonight calls for partly cloudy. We do still have that wind chill advisory in effect. An overnight low about 12 below zero. The winds will be out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for Wednesday, a chance of a few flurries, but once again, not expecting any significant snowfall. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer. We could get all the way up to 13 degrees, which is going to be, well, a lot nicer than we've seen over this past week.